What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you again on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I am talking the Week 5 Pittsburgh Steelers New York Jets game, talking about my Steelers, and once again, Pittsburgh improves to 4-1. It was quite the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers once again, back-to-back weeks. The offense is over like 460 yards total, with Le'Veon Bell back there on absolute fire. The Jets came out to play early on. This game was a lot tighter than it had any business being. It really shouldn't have been very close. The Jets came in at 1-3. Darrelle Revis was not playing. The secondary has been porous. Their offensive line has been banged up and not really been playing that well. So the Jets on paper have a good roster, but are not a very good team this year. This game shouldn't have been as close as it was. They started off 7-6. The Jets got two drives that stalled in field goals, and Pittsburgh got an opening touchdown on a 70-plus yard reception from Sammy Coates, which that is his sixth 40-plus yard reception in the last 5 games. He's been the best NFL deep option in the entire league right now. Interesting day for him. So all in all, Pittsburgh they came out, pretty solid, good start opening up on offense, and then just sort of didn't put their foot on the gas. They were kind of toying with the Jets the entire time. The game was never in doubt, even when the Jets were ahead 13-6 or 13-7. I'm sorry. Even when they were ahead, Pittsburgh marched down and scored a touchdown to end the half, 14-13. Despite it being a 1-point game, the game was never really in doubt for the Steelers. They kind of just toyed with the Jets a little bit. They were off base with a lot of drops. There was a lot of silly stuff in this game where Pittsburgh just didn't sort of seem to finish them off. They had them on the ropes the entire time and didn't really finish them until the fourth quarter. But all in all, Ben Roethlisberger finishes this game once again totally on fire. 380 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a silly fumble when the Steelers should have ended the game. They were inside the Jets' 10-yard line. Ben fumbled on a fluky play to Sheldon Richardson. So that was Ben's first turnover in a couple of weeks. But nevertheless, in the last 2 weeks, for Roethlisberger, 680 yards, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. Absolutely on fire. So Ben with 380 and 4 TDs again. Antonio Brown, solid day, had about 60 yards and a touchdown in this game. Jesse James scored a touchdown in this game as well. He's had a couple this season. He's played very well in relief for Heath Miller, even though the crowd still chants Heath when he catches the ball. Sammy Coates, very interesting. He wound up, after the 70-yard touchdown catch, he dropped two back-to-back touchdowns in consecutive drives, and then had a fourth drop. Wound up this game with at least 4, if not 5 drops. 3 in the first half, 2 in the second half. And really start getting booed by the audience. They said he had some sort of issue with his left hand. They said he was injured, but he kept returning to the game. He would come out for a few plays and come back in. Clearly had several drops. Two clear, wide-open ones in the end zone, and another one on an easy screen-out play. So I don't know what the deal with his receiving is. He makes so many deep plays, again, 6 in the last 5 games, over 40-plus yards. He catches these incredibly hard deep balls in traffic, and he can streak, and he can do all this. Good hands on the deep balls, but on the short, wide-open touchdown catches, he drops them. So I don't know what's going on. He wound up with a career high, did catch a second touchdown at the end of the game to seal the game and make it 31-13, which was the final score. So overall, for Coates, he wound up and he got a couple of catches on the last drive as well to make up for some drops. But he wound up, I think, with 6 catches for like 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. Career NFL best, first 2 touchdowns of his career. So stat-wise, he had the best game of his life and played very, very well. But he did have at least 4, if not 5 drops in there. So very interesting to see where they go next week. Eli Rogers is due back from injury soon. Marcus Whedon's still getting back into the game. He had 2 catches today. So interesting to see where the receiver thing goes. Le'Veon Bell was another guy. I think he had like 30 or 40 touches today. Huge day for Le'Veon Bell. Only rushing the ball, he wasn't super effective. 20 carries for 66 yards. But he did catch another like 10. I think he had 8 catches for another 88 yards, I believe. So 8 catches for 88. So he winds up overall with 8 for 88 receiving, 20 for 66 rushing. So he finishes with 28 touches for 126 yards or something like that. Really good day again for Le'Veon Bell. Just smooth sailing in between, nice cuts. He does a nice job with everything he does. He's good off the ball. He's good at blocking. He's a great receiver, great rusher. So Bell was at the forefront of Ben's offense today, was his most targeted guy. But again, Jesse, Brown, and especially Coates all played very well on offense. Also, the offensive line only had Ben Roethlisberger hit, I think, twice. Ben was knocked down twice today with no sacks given up. So very, very good day for the offensive line. Gave Ben a lot of time. Special teams, Antonio Brown did get one long 50-plus yard return, which almost went for a touchdown, but had a last-second tackle. Defensively, again, 13 points allowed for the Jets. One touchdown, which should have been intercepted. Ross Cockrell had the ball go right through his hands and bounce up in the air to Brandon Marshall for the Jets' only touchdown of the day. So it should have been picked off. So really should have only been 6 points, but the Jets did score 13. All in the first half, no second half points. Overall, solid job. Ross Cockrell had a hard time defending Brandon Marshall. He was physical with him, did a good job bodying him, but couldn't stop him. Marshall winds up with about 7 catches for, I think, 115 yards and a touchdown. Typical Brandon Marshall fashion. Both Jalen Marshall and Eric Decker were out for this game, so Brandon Marshall and Quincy Enunwa took the reins for the Jets. Those two guys were the only guys that really played that well on offense. Not much out of Bilal Powell or Matt Forte. They fell behind big, and that was it. Nothing special today out of Ryan Fitzpatrick, but not a bad day for him. Defensively for the Steelers, we saw Stephon Tuitt made a few plays. Cameron Hayward went back to the locker room with an injury and did not return to the game. So he's the Pittsburgh Steelers' best defensive player, so we'll see where that goes from here. Once again, Robert Golden did not play. Jordan Dangerfield filled in okay. Sean Davis played a little bit today and played okay as well. As far as corners, Ross Cockrell had a rough day, but that was the only notable situation for the Jets. They had him shadowing Brandon Marshall all day, which wasn't a good call. I had called for Justin Gilbert to come in the game, but apparently he was out with an undisclosed injury as well. Taking a look at the linebackers, Ryan Shazier did not play, but Jarvis Jones played very well in his absence, got a few tackles for a loss in the backfield, had a constant presence, had several hits on the quarterback. I believe he had a sack as well. Big day for Vince Williams. Vince Williams actually played where Shazier plays. Last week he had 15 tackles and a sack. This week he had 10 more tackles and another sack. So in 2 weeks now for Vince Williams filling in as a starter, 25 tackles and 2 sacks. He's all over the ball. He's in the backfield. He's quick to the ball. He's getting sacks. He's getting pressures. Well done. Well done. Jarvis Jones, again, with a batted ball as well. So Jarvis Jones and Vince Williams are probably the two best players right now on defense. Timmons playing well as well also, as he always does. So overall, 31-13 victory for the Steelers. What did you guys think? Who stood out to you? Is Big Ben Roethlisberger an early MVP candidate? Because I believe he is. What do you guys think about Le'Veon Bell? What's going to happen with the wide receiver situation? And what are they going to do as far as filling the gaps in defensively in the secondary to cover receivers? Tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought. Until next time, Steeler fans, this has been Football Focus. I'll see you again midweek for the Power Rankings. Take care.